Thank you. Oh, come on, a little more applause than that when I'm coming up. Thank you. So if my speech is terrible, we got that on film, so that's good. All right, I want you to picture in your head the best leader at your firm. Everybody's got it? He or she? Now picture the worst leader in your firm. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, that guy, that girl, that lady, okay? Got him in your head? How did they get there into that position of leadership? Well, it's usually the same story for both of them. At about 17 or 18 years old, they decided to go to a high-profile college. They got in, and they got into Harvard Law School or Yale Law School. Got recruited by a top 100 firm. Life is good. Sat in the library for 3 years, getting yelled at, working 2,300 billable hours. 5 or 6, they start on the partner track. They become a partner. They bring in new clients. And then one day, when they're probably 35 to 40 years old, the managing partner says, hey, we need a new leader for the IP group. Who would like to do it? And all of a sudden, there's a person standing there who just didn't notice that 13 people took a step backwards. And that person is now in charge. A very capable, talented lawyer who is now expected to be the leader, the manager of a practice group, and head coach. And they receive no training to do so. And we're expecting them now to be a great lawyer, to manage a department, and to improve the performance of every single lawyer in that group, all the legal assistants, the marketing people, the health, and everything goes with it to increase the profits, to make sure our clients are better served, and to make this a great place to work that we're easy to recruit from. That is their charge, and where are they getting the expertise to do so? But my talk today is not so much about coaching lawyers. It is about turning your managers and leaders into coaches, because there is just a limitation of how far that we can go. There's only so many lawyers we can visit or put them through so many programs. We have to depend on the lawyer managers at our firm, managing partners, heads of practice groups, heads of offices, to become great coaches. And when I define coaching, there's lots of different terminology out there that people might use to express. And you might picture in your head your old football coach or an old manager that you had or a mentor that you had in school. Coaching is about improving other people's performance so they get continuously better at it year after year after year. Leadership is about inspiring confidence. And management is about guiding results. Coaches in the middle is about developing people. It is a people skill that most of our lawyer managers do not have automatically coming in, and so it behooves us to teach them how. Now, when we're coaching lawyers, we look at specifics on business development, let's say. How do we make them better at it? We give them some tactics. We have networking classes. We do great things like this is a better way to give a speech or write an RFP or all that. These are tactics. And perhaps over time we get better at them, but are they actually getting better at business development, handling new situations, talking to people they've never talked to before, or are they just accomplishing activities? So really what we want to talk about is the difference between just managing a department, which is about inspecting and auditing. Inspecting is really, hey, are we doing the right things? Are we going to see the right people? It's very pre-business development. Auditing is really looking at how things went. Why'd we win? Why'd we lose? What's our win percentage? What's our close ratio? What's the size of the matters that we're getting? That's a post-business development. Coaching is all about the middle part of business development, and we can't ignore it, and we can't expect all of our lawyer managers to ignore it either. So when we put them into these situations, what do they rely upon? Well, most people that become lawyer managers, it's because they're a really good lawyer. Really good at IP, they have a big book of business, whatever. So of course, what are they naturally going to fall back on is what worked for me. That is the number one way that they are going to coach others to do it. So we know that's the case. That's how most people would be if we didn't train them how to be a coach. And so what you see are typically 6 false coaching personas that come up. Now, this is the post-lunch talk. David did a great job warming you up, but if your shoes are off, get your shoes back on. We're going to stand up, all right? If you have a birthday between January and February, I would like you to stand up, please. Come on, it should be exactly about 6 of you in the room. All right, I'm not saying anything about these people, but I just want to get you some names and faces and just do it. This first 6 coaching persona, false coaching persona, is the preacher. The person that gets up there and they start talking about, we're going to do this, and we're going to be the biggest firm in San Francisco, and everybody's going to know us about IP, and hallelujah, everybody just get to those results, and we will have a great, great firm and high profits. Know one of those? Thank you. Right on. Say it loud. Go ahead and have a seat. All right. How about March and April? Please stand up. Drill sergeants. You folks aren't working hard enough. That's why we're not bringing in enough business. You got to put in the hours. You got to do this like, wait, you stay in that library, you get out there, you shake some hands just like the way I did it, and I want to hear it. Coach number 2. Nope, not a coach. You may sit down. May, June. Go ahead and stand up. Everybody's like waiting for their birthday going, oh no, I don't want to. This is the one I love the most, the false coach persona of the reminiscer. Well, back in our day, it wasn't really a business, it was a profession, and you just did good work and things, so just do good work. That's not a coach. They spend all their time doing it. It's not a coach. Go ahead and have a seat. You know where I'm going, next group? Hop up. Should be the other ones. I'm not buying any of you birthday gifts, though, so forget it. All right. The Monday morning quarterbacks. This is what we should have done to win the deal. I can't believe this happened. We should have said this. We should have given them this deal. That stupid AFA, I don't care what those marketing people say. They don't work. That's the Monday morning quarterback. And you have leaders that are doing this to their people. Next group. That group down. Next group down. The next false coaching persona. The backseat driver. You bunch of liars. Get up if it's your birthday. We are on September, October. These are the backseat drivers, the one that sit there. They must go on every meeting with every possible client, and they are sitting there just ready, and as soon as someone even hesitates or hiccups, they are in there talking, and they are closing that deal, and no deals get closed without them. Great coach, terrible coach. Absolutely not. And my last group, November, December. The bean counters. Sorry, everybody, but we see a lot of these, especially in this industry. The bean counters are those that are counting the number of appointments and the number of emails were sent and what is our percentage of bounce backs versus the people that attended and this and that, and have this manufacturing approach to marketing. Me, guilty when I was much younger of saying that we just go on more appointments, we do more of this, but not so much in this industry, but on relationships. Bean counters aren't coaches. They're inspecting and auditing, and you can have a seat. And I appreciate you participating. So if those are the 6 false coaching personas, those kinds of things, how do we turn people into actually coaches, into not tracking things or telling them what they should have done better or yelling at them to do better or why can't everybody see the world the way I do? Does this remind you of some of the people in charge of your multi-million-dollar practice groups? The ones that are going to win the Pfizer deal that's worth $12 million a year? And I hope they're pretty good at it. I hope they're a pretty good coach. And I hope they can coach their lawyers to help win this business. How do we turn them into that? Now, what I'm going to go through is some 5 basic key things that every good coach must use. Now, I don't care if it's for athletics, if it's for the police department, the military, or flight training, lawyers too. The difference is, a lot of times, for whatever reason, the best coaches you see out there are sports, military, and people, industries where people's lives are in danger. It's funny, we don't see people that go out there in the fire department and go, oh, well, you know, he's always loved fire trucks. I'm sure he'll be great at it. Right? No, not acceptable. We don't say, oh, the pilot, he's loved planes his whole life. He got his pilot's license back in his 20s. He's been a pilot for 30 years and been in the flight simulator in about 20 years. I'm sure he'll be fine on this new plane. Unacceptable. It's because the results really matter, don't they? There is no reason that we can't apply the same kind of coaching models that they use. And they do have a model that they use on a regular basis. Holding a whistle doesn't make you a coach. That's a noun. I'm the coach. No. It's a verb. Coaching is a verb. It is what you do. And there are some elements to it. Number 1, fundamentals. Everybody read Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell? There's this great piece in it about 10,000 hours of practice. Not only that it takes 10,000 hours of practice to become a virtuoso, but it is almost the defining characteristic between high performers and low. And you know what this person does every time before they go on stage? They practice scales for an hour and a half in the back. Yes, this person who plays on national stages and has been playing for 15 years. I go to the Green Bay Packers training camp every year because I'm lucky enough that my boss has a son that plays for them. And you know what they do? Every practice, every year, they walk through the entire playbook every single day. People that have been playing since they were 5 years old, professional football players making millions of dollars, they walk through every single play. Think about it. When is the last time even one of your good business developers practiced business development? Has to happen every day. In every industry where results matter, there is a drop-off of skills, of basic fundamentals, if they don't practice them. But we're just going to wing it? Not acceptable. No. The coach's responsibility is to help them practice those fundamentals. The next thing is situational planning. So I was reading something about the SEAL team that went into the raid on Osama bin Laden. And they actually talked to one of them, how do you prepare for something like that? You've never been inside the building. You don't know what it's going to be like. You don't know where that person is. And what they said is like, well, for about 6 months, we're going to put 50-pound packs on, and we're going to go upstairs. We're going to do it at night. We're going to do it during the day. We're going to open up doors, and there's brick walls. We're going to open up doors, and it's going to be full of kids. And we're going to practice all of those until somebody one day says, time to go. That's how they're going to prepare for it. That is exactly what they do. And there is no, well, what if this happens? What if that? You plan for every situation. What if a competitor comes in and offers a lower price? What if this RFP is just to try to fish us out and try to get our prices lower? What if we say something stupid in the middle of the presentation? What do we do then? All these situations can and will happen. There is no reason not to prepare, and a good coach prepares people for them. Because then we get into simulation. Now, one of the things I was very happy to see, the legal mocktail, this is a simulation. This is practicing in an environment that's relatively safe before we go out for real and learn lessons here. That's what simulations are for. And if you look at police, sports, life threatening, this is what they do all day. Practice every situation and every simulation and then throw things at them that they've never seen before. You think about pilot simulator training or Apollo 13 when they're prepping on the ground. Let's throw a wind shear at them. Let's see how they react to an engine not working. Let's see how they react to that. Do you do that in your business development training? Does your leader as a coach do that? Or are they just saying, hey, get out there and get more appointments? Coaches need to help run simulations and then afterwards reflect upon it. Because this is how lawyers see themselves after every engagement. They think about, oh yeah, I remember that. We looked good. That was back when I used to be, everybody, this is how everybody sees me. I apologize. It is our job to provide mirrors, not portraits on the wall. This is after action reports. This is a thing they do in the military. It's 4 questions. What happened? What was supposed to happen? What happened? Why did that happen? How do we improve upon that next time? You should do that upon every engagement, every business development, but also after every business development simulation. That is one of the biggest jobs for a coach, is this reflect-in period. Not yelling at them why they should do it better or how we could have done it differently, but saying to Tim, to Roberta, to Adam, why do you think we lost that? We didn't prepare for that? Well, we did. No, we didn't execute upon it. That after-action report is extremely important because what we're looking after is continuous improvement. This should be getting easier all the time. If your lawyers aren't getting better at business development, it is because they are not being coached properly. Now, some people work harder than others, I understand that. But going into a deal, putting it together, creating an argument, it shouldn't be just as difficult for them this year as it is next year. They're not improving. And I'm very big on thinking that holding a whistle doesn't make you a coach. Because a lot of times we're not measuring anything. We're just going through the activities of coaching. I'm in charge, therefore I'm the coach, and you will listen to what I say. So holding the whistle and making the most noise doesn't make you a coach, but this does. Performance. Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? And what influence does that leader have on it? Thank you very much.